Bonjour à tous et à toutes, c'est Yuna l'exterminatrice et bienvenue sur ce Let's Play Tale of Arise. J'espère que vous allez bien, moi je vais super bien. Ravi de vous retrouver sur ce Let's Play. On en est aujourd'hui à l'épisode 22, c'est ça. On a trouvé sur l'épisode précédent donc le seigneur de Nièze qui est en fait une femme qui s'appelle... comment qu'elle s'appelle déjà celle-là Almeidrea, voilà, et qui a fait un massacre avec les villageois pour pouvoir avoir de l'énergie. Donc c'était assez cruel, la cinématique était magnifique, c'était assez cruel. Donc il fallait trouver, comme on a fait là, donc le port secret pour pouvoir trouver le bateau qu'elle a fait et pouvoir enfin aller la vaincre, à condition qu'on y arrive. Allez, c'est parti, on va sur les quais. Alors, comme vous avez pu voir, j'ai mis des petites ailes d'ange à notre chionne. Donc, celui va bien, tout simplement. Mais bon, c'est gênant de jouer avec elle comme ça, j'avoue. Donc là... hop... Ouais, ça, on peut pas... Si. Voilà, on va les retirer. Allez.
Let's see what they have to share about Almeidrea.
Notre coffre, on va fouiller. Puissant remède, ok. C'est pas mal, hein, vraiment magnifique. Alors, voyons voir ce qu'on a d'autre. Et on y va.
You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set and we'll set sail.
Ok. Alors, voyons voir. Est-ce qu'il y a... Non, il n'y a rien du tout. Là non plus. Bah écoutez, hein, on y va de ce pas. Allez. Oui. Il n'y a pas de quête secondaire, alors on y va tout de suite.
This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Until then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it
Ah
easy.
non.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almeidrea, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Bon, il va falloir, voilà, un peu se taper les états d'âme de tout le monde.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegus.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegus. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Renna really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
You don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor,
Oh, la pauvre.
it keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
Elle a
I
touché
think
un
I'm
petit
getting
point
seasick
sensible
again.
là.
Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
That's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Shion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
J'avoue que ça doit être très frustrant. Allons voir notre petite Shion.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almeidrea's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Bah, il était temps qu'elle s'ouvre, celle-là, hein. Dis donc. Ah, il y a un peu plus que de l'amitié entre les deux, j'en suis sûre, j'en suis sûre.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almeidrea. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up. Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Carrément sur un bateau, quoi. Eh ben...
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. ready, my dear. Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almeidrea.
Bon, ben beaucoup de recherches et beaucoup de combats, je crois, là, hein, quand même. Ouais, pas trop le choix. Ouh là là, on n'a pas intérêt à se perdre, hein, je vous dis. Donc la forteresse mobile Gradia. Ah, oh là là.
Ship.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almeidrea plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsev when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a goner.
Balsev's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Danon in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Excusez-moi, je suis en train de boire mon petit café en même temps. Donc là, j'ai une fiole de résurrection. Ce côté-là, on ne peut pas y aller. Alors voyons voir. Ah oui, d'accord. Ok, le donjon de la sorcière. Fouiller tout le niveau 1 du bateau d'Almeidrea. Bah, on va faire ça, on va fouiller, j'ai envie de vous dire. Attends, avant d'aller là, je vais aller de ce côté-là. Peut-être des choses à, voilà, récupérer. De la laitue, tiens, ça va vachement m'aider. Donc là, on ne peut pas. Donc bien sûr, on va passer ici. Chouchou, il y a quelque chose à récupérer là. Non. Allez, salut. Hop, c'est évident. Mais qu'est-ce qu'il dit le monsieur? Tiens, je te calme tout de suite. Un peu de colère, mais ça suffit.
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Alors, il n'y a rien d'ouvert, rien à récupérer. Eh ben, passons au suivant.
Glacial spear. Here's the evil. Fire support. I'm ready. Tourmaline.
Light burst force!
Radiant Genesis. Mega ray. There.
Everlasting
And
shock!
armor strong. Now, split it open. This one's got your name on it.
Ashes to ashes!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Ok, donc là... Ah, voyons voir. Une grosse dose d'énergie astrale. C'est sûrement encore un piège, ok.
Got it.
D'accord. Donc ça, c'est Rinwell qui va nous en débarrasser. Avant ça, continuons vite fait de fouiller. Voilà, il peut y avoir des petites choses intéressantes à prendre. Alors, action de terrain, vous pouvez vous servir des astres astro, nanana, nanana. Ok. Mais par contre, c'est vrai que ça va m'utiliser des PS, mais bon, on n'a pas le choix si on veut passer de toute façon. Alors, oh bah bien sûr, il faut récupérer le petit sac, faut tuer les deux loups. Du moins un petit et un gros.
Light burst force!
Radiant Genesis.
Slash! Demon Fang!
Here I go.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Un peu de monnaie. Ça fera pas de mal. Allez, on va enlever ce voile d'énergie astrale. Hop, enfermé dans son petit bouquin, c'est sympa.
Are you okay?
Alors ici on a la carte, on peut pas faire grand chose
I'm
ici.
fine. Let's keep moving.
Voilà, il n'est pas alimenté. Forcément, le contraire m'aurait étonné. Genre de petit labyrinthe avec plein de choses. Ah, regardez, des cargaisons décidées là. Mais bon, allez, continuons.
Forgive you.
Pas comme si je ne touchais rien du tout. Pendant un temps. Ah, j'ai pas eu le temps. Ah, mais il y en avait un autre là-bas. Alors là, les deux ensemble.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Donc ça c'est fait. Allez, petit coffre. 10 200 gold, ça c'est bon ça. Il n'y a rien. C'est quand même assez détaillé, hein. Je trouve vachement joli quand même le jeu. Hein. Je sais pas pour vous. Encore, je suis sur Xbox série S. Hein. Je suis même pas sur la série X. Je suis sur la série S. Et je le trouve juste superbe. Quoi. Mais même sur Xbox One X, hein, je l'avais commencé dessus avant d'avoir ma console. Elle est récente, oui. Merci à ma maman encore une fois pour ce jeu du cadeau. Elle m'a soutenu à 100% sur les jeux. Et une petite anecdote, c'est qu'elle adore les jeux d'horreur, ma mère. C'est un truc de fou. Elle est capable de me les acheter juste pour me regarder jouer. Enfin. Et du coup, pour revenir sur ça, le jeu il est juste exceptionnellement beau. Hein. Il n'y a rien à dire à ce sujet. Ouais, ça a adulé. Super. Ça ne va pas, je vais jeter un pichet de lait dans leur tête, ça va être vite vu. Bonjour. Ah bien, c'est bien ça sur la côté. Un peu de tiens, ça tête dans ton lit. Ah mince. Ah, Rinwell qui s'énerve. Alors ça, j'aimerais bien voir ce qu'elle fait. Je crois que j'ai déjà vu, hein, mais... Qu'elle le fera. Les autres le font tout seuls et elle le fait pas, je comprends pas. J'essaierai la prochaine fois de la prendre pour faire juste son spécial. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce coffre? Du bœuf. Un super coffre du turfu pour avoir juste du bœuf. Salut vous. Allez, hop. Feu de feu. Putain, tout ça en même temps dans ta tête. Calme-le. Toi aussi. Le... Alors j'essaie d'être assez rapide lors des attaques comme ça ultimes pour vraiment comment il s'appelle, ben voilà, le diversifier et pas toujours faire la même chose. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose? Oui, ici il y a une... Ah, oh monsieur, vous êtes tout rouge. Comment ça se fait? Vous êtes tout rouge colère ou... Vous devez être colère. Une colère tout rouge. Mais il lance des trucs en plus, le monsieur tout rouge là. Aïe, et voilà, je viens d'en prendre une fois. Elle bloque le machin là. Bon, par contre, apparemment, il fait mal avec son feu. Enfin, il fait mal. Il touche bien. Tiens, prendre un coup de motion. Ah bah voilà. Lui, il le fait tout seul, par contre. Ah mais zut, je me suis trompé. Ah, il faut faire ça, ça. Peut-être que je regarde. Je pense pas, j'ai rien. Ah, la clé d'accès, super. Fouiller tout le sous-sol du bateau. Très bien.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Il n'y a plus rien par là, oui, donc ça doit être ça. Donc, faut peut-être du coup prendre l'élévateur qui est là-bas, certainement. J'ai la clé d'accès, ça doit être certainement ça. Oui, niveau inférieur. Ah ouais, mais il y a tellement d'étages. Pardon, excusez-moi. Est-ce que ça aurait pas été mieux que je fasse d'abord tous les autres étages avant pour être sûr de récupérer... Enfin, pour être sûr de tout récupérer parce que le truc qui est là et je sais pas si je peux... Je vais faire ça. Je suis désolée, je vais vous embêter. Mais... Ah, ce niveau est inaccessible. Ah bah là aussi... Ah bon, bah d'accord, ok, j'ai pas le choix, j'ai envie de vous dire. Bon, on va faire ça ici. Bonjour. Oh là là, il y a du monde. Oh, ils ont capturé des créatures. Où ça, voyons. Oula, 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 il est énervé, lui. Très bien. Allez, oh, oh, oh.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Astral energy, full throttle! Dance in the wind!
Rising Wyvern!
Field! Sight more for the stockpile!
Can't get out of this!
Mega ray! Field!
Resonate with the earth! Shattering knives! I'm ready! Look sharp!
Oh mince, j'ai pas... Okay. Très bien.
Our work is done here.
Oh, les
Let's
pauvres
move.
bébés.
Right behind you, Shion.
Il y a un Zug dans cette cage. Il doit servir de créature de garde, l'animal de compagnie ou de cobaye. Plus de cobayes, je crois, les pauvres bêtes. Expérience visant à améliorer l'endurance a abouti. Le seigneur Almeidrea sera ravi. Sa seigneurie tient tellement à ce zeugle qu'elle a failli congédier toute l'équipe du laboratoire. Mais il y en a tout plein, regardez ça. En miniaturisé, mais il y en a tout plein, quoi. Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait avec ça? Qu'elle compte faire d'eux? Des œufs. Oh là là. Vous pouvez pas me donner quelque chose de mieux, quoi, parce que je m'en fous de tout ça, quoi. C'est bien, ça me sert pour faire des recettes, mais là je m'en fous un peu, quoi. Ah ouais, ces chevaliers là, faut vraiment leur foncer dessus parce qu'ils sont pénibles. Ah, il prend cher, lui. Il prend cher, mais sa vie, elle descend pas beaucoup. Ah mince. Voilà. Alors, il y a quelque chose ici. Ah bah la clé d'accès B. Ok. Fouillez tout le niveau 2 du bateau. Très bien. Le matériel ne provient certainement pas du bateau. Des expériences sont sans doute menées ici. Ben oui. On le voit quand même, quoi. Alors. On devrait quand même aller faire ça. Ranger dans le livre. Et je vois qu'il y a 2 beaux coffres là. Défiez-vous. Attention. Ah, ça leur fait rien le feu. Ils balancent aussi des magies. C'est un peu comme Rinwell. Ils font très mal.
Looks like we got them all.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? De la gelée de pêche. Voilà, ça c'est intéressant. J'ai besoin de ce genre de choses. Donc ce serait bien qu'ils me mettent ça plutôt que de la laitue, des œufs. Là c'est fait. Là, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose? Non. Là, non. Toi. Waouh! Le gros lézard, là, je l'aime pas. Allez. N'abandonnons pas. On va y arriver. Bim. Tiens. À toi maintenant. Ouais, peut-être calmer par contre tout de suite. Aïe. Attends, je vais pas utiliser les... Voilà, je vais utiliser ça. Tiens, pour toi. Ah, je savais que t'aurais atterri là, quoi. Ah oh. Oh là là. Je vais voir si Joalim va le faire. Ouais, c'est bon. Je m'en aurais douté. Non. Ah, salopard, va. Tiens, voilà, ça prendra. Heureusement que j'ai envoyé Alphen juste au bon moment. Oh là là. Qu'est-ce que j'ai? Ça, j'ai encore, c'est plutôt pas mal. À tout le monde. Allez. Dépêche-toi. Oh là là. Je vais essayer. Je vais voilà, utiliser ça pour la relever. Allez, debout. Ah, plus vite. Ça utilise pas les PC. Les PS, pardon. Les PC, c'est le point de compétence. Oh, qu'est-ce que je l'aime pas, ce laser. Ah bah oui. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font chier. Allez. Ah, de Aline qui s'énerve. Tiens. Ouah, dans son nez. Juste à la dernière seconde, hein, c'est fou.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Ok, une cape blanche. Là,
That equipment should come in
un
handy.
emblème magique. Alors, on va peut-être réparer un peu les bobos. Là, on va remettre un peu de vie. Voilà. Tant pis, je vais essayer de trouver quelque chose pour les PS. J'espère qu'il y aura un genre de petit feu de camp ou une bêtise pareille. Du coup, maintenant, on peut aller en C2. Donc, allons-y.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, Hôtel? Ah. Je l'ai vu le dragon derrière. Hein.
What is that
Il
huge
me donne pas envie d'y aller. Hein.
flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almeidrea sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almeidrea's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almeidrea may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? Ugh, my head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almeidrea.
Ben oui. Allez, allons par là.
What could this be? Let's dispose of the trash.
For my lord!
Here I go. You think that shield will save you?
Bring him down! Fire support!
It's almost too strong.
Split it open! Be my guest!
Alphen, astral energy!
Say no more.
What is it, Hoodle? You want to go back?
Animal intuition, perhaps?
Ah, bonjour.
I won't forgive you.
Time to burn! Eat dirt!
You'll pay for what you did! Now! Frozen!
Hammer!
Shining Supernova! Lightning
Take
Condemned!
this!
Thunder! Now! Elvin! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Mega Ray! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Out of our way!
Un petit hôtel pas très loin.
Not today!
Time to burn! Mega Ray! Peggy! Nothing gets my
Mission!
Mega Ray! Freeze Lancer! Dance in the wind! Steel! Mega Ray! More of the time!
Alphen.
Mega Ray! Here comes!
Bien.
I'll trip it up.
I'm ready! Confiscated! Where are you going? Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
My concentration is dwindling. Perhaps I'm tired.
Alors, où est ce petit hôtel? Pardon. Ah bah tu es là. Ouh, des jolies petites ailes de papillon là.
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
Ah, alors attendez. Faut quand même que je le remplis du coup.
That equipment should come in handy.
Alors, voyons voir vite fait. Je crois que j'ai dû avoir quelques équipements. Voilà, la cape blanche. Non. Le pourpoint naturel. Et voilà, c'est déjà mieux que rien. Ouais, il y en a là au milieu. Ah, mais attendez, il y avait pas... Oui, si, voilà, il y avait un coffre bleu juste là. Juste pour une fiole de résurrection, je ne vais pas dire non, venez ici vous deux.
Right, here goes! Ignite!
Barely a blip on our radar.
I won't forgive you!
That may prove a thorn in our side.
Let the marksman handle this! Now! It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle! Mega Ray! Take it!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Mega Ray! Yeah! And pummeling to me! You're mine!
Ah, il y a le tout rouge aussi.
Mega Ray! Here I go! Go! It's over!
In a bind?
Mega Ray!
Allez, on s'occupe de l'autre.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning Orb! There! And again!
Rising
Flooding your dreams! Mega Ray! Lightning Orb!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite! Rending you apart!
Mega Ray! Lightning Elven! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Nicely done.
Yes, ça c'est désactivé. C'est très très bien.
That enemy looks strong.
Ah, bonjour.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist! Lightning Orb! Time to burn!
All yours, Kisara. No further. There. On your knees. Got you. Laser ray. Air pressure. We're not finished. Alpha.
Ah, il est mort avant que je puisse faire le super. Ouh là là, les sous, c'est bon ça, c'est bon ça. Notre petit coffre, des pommes de terre, bien sûr. Bonjour. Alors je crois qu'avant d'aller affronter la grosse bête, on s'arrêtera là. Ça va faire déjà 1 heure la vidéo. Et puis on recommencera donc la prochaine fois directement là en battant Almeidrea. C'est super bien.
Say no more.
Could have been worse.
Ah bon, décidément. Anneau de résistance. Ah, il y a quelque chose juste là. Apparemment, donc j'ai débloqué à un endroit, ça c'est sûr. Donc là je l'ai pris. Et je sais plus du tout où il est. C'est très bien parce que c'est pas là de suite que je veux aller. Et du coup, je crois qu'il faut peut-être que je reparte en arrière. Pour accéder à cet endroit. C'était un mur rouge qu'on a donc débloqué. Non. Alors, c'était où? C'était où? Allons voir en C1. Je sais que j'ai débloqué un endroit, c'est sûr. Qu'est-ce que vous foutez là, vous? Non, c'est pas là, ça c'est pris, ça aussi. Ça c'est le début du cargo, donc je pense pas que ce soit là. Voyons voir au sous-sol. Je l'avais vu en plus, la porte rouge. Ce n'est pas là. Ça là-bas je l'ai fait vu que j'ai tout ramassé, donc ce n'est pas là. Ah mince. Réessayons ces deux. J'ai tout fait. Ah, là-bas il y a une action de terrain. Alors attendez, c'est pas là. Est-ce que j'y vais? Non, là je ne peux pas. Et là je ne peux pas. Bon. Dans tous les cas, c'est pas très loin. Écoutez, regardez mes petits geeks, on va s'arrêter là. Je vous fais plein de gros bisous et je reviens très très vite pour la suite. Ciao tout le monde.